We're gonna go over how to do the Tunisian rib stitch, but doing it flat instead of in the round with two colors. So you get this really pretty contrast with your stitches. This is my Tunisian twist balaclava pattern. I am making this tutorial kind of for this, kind of also just so there's a tutorial out there. If you are interested in getting this pattern, the link to the pattern is down below. So for this tutorial, you're gonna need a double-ended Tunisian crochet hook. I'm just gonna use a small one because I'm just making a square that's about this size. If you're making something way bigger, you will need one that has a cord in between two crochet hooks so you can hold more loops on your hook. I'm also using a 6mm hook and some weight for yarn. With this pattern, the stitch that you want to be more pronounced and be in the rib, we're gonna start with that color. So I'm gonna do white like I did with this. So we're gonna start with white, and you wanna chain an even amount of stitches. Okay, so I have my chain here. Now what we're gonna do is we're going to Tunisian simple stitch across. This is our foundation row. I'm gonna quickly go over how to do this row. If you want a more in-depth tutorial, please watch this video here. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick up a loop under the back bumps of our chain all the way across, and we should have the same amount of stitches that we started with. Okay, now we should have all of our loops on our hook. Now what we're gonna do is we're actually going to put this down, leaving all our loops on, and we're gonna take our contrasting color. So now we are going to work the return pass, which is the contrasting color behind our stitches. So we're going to take our contrasting color and make a slip knot, and then what we're gonna do is we'll pick back up our hook. So where we left off with our yarn, we're actually going to turn our work and work from the other side. So where your working yarn isn't, we're going to attach there and put our slip knot on and tighten. So now we're gonna return pass with this contrasting color. And to return pass, we're gonna just take our slip knot and pull through one loop, one stitch, and then we're gonna yarn over and pull through two across, right until we have one loop left to pull through. Okay, so I have two loops left on my hook. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop my green and pick up my white underneath the green, so it creates a nice twist of the color change. So my green's on my left, my white's on my right. I'm gonna grab the white from underneath the green and pull that up and pull that through so that we're starting with the white again on this next row. So that is our very first row. And now we're gonna do the actual rib stitch here. I'm gonna quickly go over this. If you want to practice this stitch first, please watch this video here. But for now, I'm just gonna go quickly over it. Basically what we do, we're doing a combination of Tunisian simple stitch and Tunisian twisted simple stitch. So basically we're gonna do a simple stitch like normal, but then a twisted simple stitch is, instead of going from right to left with the Tunisian simple stitch, we're going from left to right. So we want to insert our hook going this way into the vertical bar instead of this way. So we're going to reach around from the other side, insert our hook, and pull up a loop. And you can see our little V there. And then we basically just keep repeating that. So simple stitch, then twisted stitch all the way across. And then our last Tunisian stitch is a little bit different just because of how we pulled our new color through. So what we're gonna do is just go in between the stitch, the last stitch, where we should just go in between the white and pull up a loop. Okay, so there is our second row. Now we're not gonna return pass with this. We're actually gonna turn our hook, and we're gonna return pass with the green from the other side. So now we're working on the wrong side, and we're gonna yarn over, pull through one, and then yarn over, pull through two across with our contrasting color. And then when we get to the very end of this row, we wanna change back to our white color. So now when we're on our wrong side, I'm going to drop the green and I'm gonna grab the white from underneath the green once again. Grab the white, make sure it's pretty tight, and pull the white through for the last 2 loops. And there we go. So if we look on the other side, we can see that we have our contrasting color behind the first row, and then it just kind of sitting up top here. So now we're actually going to be working on the wrong side, which sounds really weird, but I promise it works out. It works out. We still want to do Tunisian simple stitch and Tunisian twisted stitch, but we're just going to be working it kind of backwards. So instead of going into here, these loops here, we're going to turn it around and work through the normal stitches, the normal loops, but just from the back side. So we want a Tunisian simple stitch first, which we're going from right to left. We're gonna find our vertical bar from the other side and grab our yarn and pull it through. And when you pull it through, you're gonna need to kind of twist your hook up so it can be pulled through fully. Then the next vertical bar, so here's that vertical bar from the wrong side. We're gonna go from the right side. We wanna work left to right. And a way that you can do that easily is use the hook of your hook and grab it like this, twist up, and then grab your yarn and pull it straight down through, and then twist your hook back up. And you can see I created a little V on the other side. So once again, we'll do the simple stitch. So going from right to left, see our vertical bar here, insert our hook, grab the yarn, pull it through, and then kind of twist it up. Then we need to do the twisted stitch. So grabbing the vertical bar with our hook, we're gonna grab it, twist the hook inside. So we see something like this. Then I'm gonna move my hook down, grab my working yarn, and pull it straight down through, and then twist my hook back up. And then we get to the very end, and we're gonna be going through the last Tunisian stitch like normal, but I count 1 loop from the white and then 1 loop from the green and pull up. And then we will turn our work, and we can see that our V's are here, and we're gonna return pass with the green from the other side. So yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2 across, and then changing colors back to our white on the very last pull through. So I'm gonna grab my white from underneath the green and pull it through. And there you go. So we're basically just gonna repeat the last 2 rows. This stitch is fairly complicated, so practice before you start any project. But once again, we'll just do the rib stitch across. So doing Tunisian simple stitch, Tunisian twisted simple stitch. And then when we get to the end of the row, we turn our hook, turn our work, and we return pass with our contrasting color. And then we change color back to our white, which I'm gonna grab from underneath my green. Now we're working on the wrong side again. Okay, we're trying another angle here to make sure I'm really showing this well. So we're working on into these vertical bars, but from the back. So we're gonna do a Tunisian simple stitch first, where we're going from right to left. So we're gonna insert our hook into this, grab our yarn, and I find it easiest to, instead of pulling through like this, to grab the yarn and pull straight down, and then twist the hook back up. Then we'll do our twisted stitch, where we work from left to right. So I use this hook here to grab and then twist up, And you can see there's a little opening there where I turn my hook down and pull the yarn through and twist back up. So working right to left again, inserting the hook, hook down, pull through, twist up. Then hook goes through. Now I have a little opening where I'm gonna twist the hook down, pull the yarn through. Right to left, pull through, left to right, pull through. So, right to left, pull it through, left to right, pull it down through, right to left, left to right. And one thing I guess I should have mentioned, I'm gonna back up a little bit. When working these loops in the back vertical bars, your yarn will always start in front of your hook. So I ended on a twisted. So my yarn is towards me from the hook. I grab the loop, pull it up. Then I keep my yarn this way. When I do this, then I pull it back up, keep it this way. It's not gonna work if you have the yarn on the other side. So make sure you're keeping the yarn towards you in front of your hook. Okay, then the last Tunisian stitch, I do one of each color here, pull up a loop, then we turn our hook around and we return pass with the green or your contrasting color. And then make sure we change colors back to the white. So grabbing the white from under the green, twist them together and pull the white through. And there you go. This is very complicated. The sides don't look amazing, so keep that in mind when working this. It's not going to be perfect. If you look at my pattern here, I did single crochets over it to make it look a little bit better, but it does look a little bulky on the sides, and that's okay. When fastening off, you can just work the stitch like normal, so just do your rib stitch, but instead slip stitch instead of leaving the loops on your hook. So twist, slip stitch, Tunisian simple stitch, slip stitch, twisted, slip stitch across. And it'll close those last vertical bars up into the rib stitch and also push that contrasting yarn to the back so it looks good with the rest of the project. And then go into the last Tunisian simple stitch, slip stitch, and there you go. So that is what it looks like when you have fastened off the top as well. So this is a very complicated stitch. I tried as hard as I could. The original video that I watched in this was in French, so hopefully this is another option for people who don't speak French. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If there are any other Tunisian tutorials that you'd like me to film, please comment them down below. If you are not yet subscribed, please hit the subscribe button so you can see more videos from me. Thank you so much for watching.